Hey y'all, I'm James Wright and welcome to my shop. Today we are making this coat hanger thing-ish. Basically, this is me kind of experimenting and playing with some ideas. Gave me a chance to play with some carving and play with some different shapes and see how I liked them. How did they actually come out in reality? Basically, I purchased this tenon cutter at a Midwest tool collector's meet, and it was just a fun tool I wanted to do, and I want to actually start doing some Windsor chairs, so that's one of the reasons why I picked it up. But because of that, it means I'm going to have to experiment and play with it, and so this would be my experiment, my play with it. So let's dive in and take a look at what in the world I was thinking. So basically the story is I purchased a new tool and I wanted to experiment and play with it. So when I do that, I like to actually make something. I don't like just experimenting with stuff that's never going to be used. So I thought maybe I'd use this piece of crunky wood. There's this weird surface and section in the middle that is so pithy I could never use it. And I thought if I cut it out, then I could use it as kind of a coat rack. Maybe use the center section of it, but I never quite know. And you can see how pithy it really is. The next thing I want to do is chalk it up in the vise and go at it with a draw knife. And a draw knife, if you've never used one, they are a ton of fun. They are just the type of thing that you have to stop yourself from going too far. You can take really nice thin shavings, or you can take very large, heavy shavings. And for things like getting rid of the pith on the live edge or cleaning off bark, they are a phenomenal tool for that. So basically just clamping it up in the vise and going at it from one side and the other, cleaning up all the edges and bringing it down to a shape that I found appealing. Trying to keep it live edge, but also trying to keep it with more of a carved shape to it. I really wanted to make this something to experiment with my style. The live edge, the carving, some geometric shapes. I wanted to put a bunch of it together and see what came out. I have no idea if I'm going to like it. I have no idea if it's something that is appealing to other people, but it is a chance for me to play. And I really like setting up things like that where there really isn't a problem with me messing up. There isn't a fear of failure in this, because this is just something for me to experiment with. So after the draw knife, I'm going to use a series of spoke shaves to refine this, bring it down to a nice smooth surface, and make everything just the way I want it. On the two faces of this, I needed to clean them up, and using a card scraper and a smoothing plane just allowed me to get rid of any of the tear out or anything that was left on it from when I purchased the board, and just get that nice buttery smooth surface. And if you've never felt a card scraper surface, it's something you've got to try. On the two ends, I was originally just going to leave them with the cut marks, but I thought, you know, if I'm going to have this live edge all the way around it, I'm going to kind of make a little bit of a live edge here. So I rounded over the sides with a spoke shave and brought them down into something that felt like it matched the rest of the board. And then I saw those corners, and yeah, let's clean up those corners too. So now that we have this piece ready, we can start working on the rest of it. And for that, I decided I actually wanted to soak some boiled linseed oil into this overnight ahead of time, because this just, it soaks up so much because there's a lot of pithy wood in there. So I'd let it sit for 20 minutes, then come back and put more on. I think I put like 6 or 7 coats, and every coat it just kept soaking into the wood and soaking into the wood and going farther and farther. And that just helps stabilize it a little bit. But I was absolutely in love with how the white oak was starting to explode with color, and that burly section coming out, and the curl and the wave. And there's a reason I love white oak. It is such a fun wood to work with. So after applying, I think it was like 13, no, it was probably like 7 or 8 coats of boiled linseed oil on this, I decided to move on to the next step. And I wanted to make the racks that go onto this. And this was a good chance for me to pull out my froe. Anytime I get a chance to play with this, I love it. And a froe is a kind of like a weird axe that allows you to split down, and then you can turn the handle to split off the work. And depending upon which way you turn the handle, you can actually drive the crack one way or the other way. And so I wanted to create several of these blocks that were about 1 1/8 by 1 1/8 by however long the froe would split them. And so you can see right there, that's what I want. I'm going to make the knobs out of that. So after one, and then doing another one, I had enough pieces I could get my 3 knobs out of that. And again, a really fun tool. And this is one of the great things about experimenting, is I get to use tools that, it would be easier if I just took a saw and cut it down. But with that, something like that, you can really play with it. This first peg, I just wanted to play with the wood and see what came out. I really didn't have any shape in mind. I kind of had the idea of making a hook So something that angled up. And then right around here, I was thinking, wow, this looks kind of like the bow of a boat. And I kept going, and the bow of the boat then turned into a finger. And I was just playing with it and seeing what I got. To make a little hook, I wanted to make this indent. So I carved a little bit from one side and then carved from the other side. I brought in a gouge and a couple other chisels and just experimented. Enjoying the wood, enjoying the way the curls went, and really not having any particular direction to follow. Whether I like what comes out the end or not, I had fun making it. And that's the important thing, that I enjoyed my time in the shop, because that's what the shop's there for. It's a hobby. It's an enjoyable thing to have. So with spoke shaves and chisels, we can clean it up and get rid of any of the edges and shape it all down. And end up with this kind of finger that stuck out of the board. I don't know if I really like the shape, but it was kind of fun to make. Now the next thing I want to do is put a tenon on the end of this, and this was kind of the whole beginning of the process. So I drilled a hole in one, I put a circle on one end, and that's what I need to whittle it down to so that the tenon maker can shape down to it. So with chisels and spoke shaves, we're able to get it. And here you can see the tenon maker then fits on that end. Now normally you would have a cone device that would actually create that for you very quickly. You put on the brace. I don't have one of those yet, but I will be getting one here soon, hopefully. But you don't really need it. You can kind of experiment. And here I'm actually going to undercut the shoulder just a little bit to make sure it seats down well. I'll have a close-up video of that a little later. And then we need to split the end of it so that we can put in a wedge. And I want to make sure the wedge is running across the grain of the board it is going into. Now for the next one, I wanted to play with something that's a geometric shape. And so I always like octagons. They're very simple. You make a square, and then you take a little bit off of each corner, and you're left with an octagon. And a fun thing to play with. Once you get good at making one of these, you can make a lot of other things. It's fairly common for a chisel handle shape. And so I created an octagon, and then I wanted to make the end of it a little bit more decorative than just coming to an end. So I chamfered off each of the corners at 45. And I ended up with this thing sticking out. Then I can do the same thing on this end, shape it down so that I can get the tenon maker on there. I used the spoke shave on all four corners, and then brought in the chisel to clean out what was in between and just make kind of a cone shape so that the tenon maker can cut on there. And I'll probably be doing a video here soon actually showing this and what all goes into it and how to set it up. It's a really fun tool, and I'm glad I finally got one. I've been eyeing them for a long time, and now I have one. So here you can see I'm actually undercutting the shoulder just a little bit with a gouge. This will make sure that the edge sits down perfectly on it. Now in this last one, I wanted to practice a little bit of scroll carving, and I wasn't looking for anything spectacular or perfect or beautiful. I just wanted to play with the shape and have a little bit of fun. Are you seeing a bit of theme here? I'm doing this for the enjoyment of the whole process. So I made a bit of a ball on the end, and you see how I drew an oval, which was basically two circles side by side. And then we can just shape it down to that oval. Once I have the ball on the end, we can then flatten and smooth off the two sides, rasp off the front and back, and bring that into a nice smooth surface. And then we can start with a little bit of curl carving on here. So you probably have seen these on violins. They're kind of a cool, simple carving, and they really don't take that much as long as you understand what you're doing. So you actually want to cut in and then pare out down to what you cut in. If you want to see more detail of this, I have an entire hour-long video where I carve these and a couple other things in one of my saws. So I'll try and leave a link to that down below as well. Then you can see you just pare out down to it. And I was originally going to smooth out all these ridges, and I thought, I kind of like the look of those ridges. So I left them in there and then just brought in a knife to clean out all the dross down in the corners. And then it's the same thing we did before. I need to make a tenon on this end so that it fits in the board. So bring in a spoke shave, bring it back to that line, carve out onto the corners until I get a nice round conical shape here. And then we can put on the tenon maker and have more fun. And I am absolutely blown away with how easy and how much fun this tenon maker is. It makes me want to put a tenon on a lot of other things, and I'm now thinking about doing a few other things. I'll probably be doing a couple Windsor chairs and other things like that here soon. Now we need to drill out where it is going to go into the board, and I did test this ahead of time to make sure that the size of the tenon I created fit the size of the hole that one of my augers would bore out, and made sure that it was all good ahead of time. Next thing we need to do is make a wedge, and so I have a piece of wood that is the same width as the tenons that I made. Chop out a bit of an angle and then pare it down into the wedge shape. And now we're ready for installation. It's really that simple. It's one of the fun things about Windsor chairs is they go together beautifully. No glue needed, just drive them in, flip it over. I put a little bit of boiled linseed oil on the wedge, and that way it kind of like glues it in as it cures over time. Being very careful, not much pressure at all. You can see I'm just barely lifting the hammer up anything at all, letting it drive in slowly until it bottoms out. Then we can flush cut it off, and it's done. Apply some boiled linseed oil, and it's ready to have some fun. I was playing with different ways of hanging this up, and I haven't quite figured out which way I want to do it yet. But for right now, I just taped it to the wall so that you could see some pictures and have a good time. I haven't quite decided if I like it yet, but it was a lot of fun to make. There you have it. This is kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I was thinking, but I kind of like it. Playing with the likes, the style. Do I like having the square shape with this natural look? Do I like having this weird natural carved look? Do I like having the more ornate carved with the natural look? I'm kind of playing with different styles. How do they go together? And this is one of the things that I love to do, is just experiment. Go out there and not be afraid to mess up, not be afraid to do something that's totally dumb, but still have a little bit of fun with it. And so that was what this piece basically is. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you like this? Do you want me to try something different? Do you think that some part of this could work in the future? Or is this something you're like, I absolutely love that? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear that. So that's about it for today. And until next time, have a wonderful day. So an elephant, a chisel handle, and a violin all walked into a coat hanger.